can an affordable stereo in-ear monitor wireless system actually be good? Well, today I've got the Xvive U45D right on the desk here, and by the end of this video, hopefully we're going to be able to answer that question. But before we do anything else, we need to shout out today's patron, and today's patron shout out goes to HSJ. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So if you're not aware, I've got a big free live stream concert coming up, Freebeat Live 2026. I throw one of these concerts every single year, and all those years that I've thrown these concerts, there's been one piece of gear that I've always wanted, but never actually committed to picking up, and that is a wireless in-ear monitor system. See, I've played with lots of in-ear wireless systems in the past, but I've never had my own. I've always either been provided them by the band I was gigging or touring with, or the venue just kind of had them. So when it came time for me to do everything on my own, like for these concerts, it was one of those things where I was like, they're expensive. I'm never really going to use it outside of the show. I don't think it's worth it for me to commit to. And then I came across Xvive, and I saw that they had an affordable wireless system in their U45. I almost picked one up last year for Freebeat Live 2025, but unfortunately we were in the process of moving houses and there was like zero budget to throw around at all. Now this year they've come out with the U45D. They actually reached out to me and asked if I'd like to try one out, so the timing could not have been better. So yes, while Xvive did send this to me, they have no say over the contents of this video. They haven't paid me or anything like that. If it's good, I'll let you know, and if it's bad, I'll let you know. I will say this is a stereo system for less than $400 US, which is pretty crazy. Stereo systems typically go for a lot more than that, around double, kind of starting off. So we'll see what we get here. I'm actually very excited. This is a momentous occasion for me personally. My first ever wireless system that I've owned. Okay, so let's see. What do we get here in the box? That it? That's it. And don't worry, we will be switching over to a proper setup to test these in just a bit, but I want to do a thorough job here. So let's see. Looks like we get some sort of, is this like mini XLR to 1/4 inch? Then we get full-size XLR to 1/4 inch. This is probably going to be a Type-C cable. Yes, because this wireless system actually charges over Type-C. In fact, it looks like this is actually a splitter, so I think we can charge both the transmitter and the receiver at once. Because if we unzip the main pouch here, we will find... Oh, wow, this is actually a very nice case. Not expecting that. We will find here our transmitter. And then we will find our receiver. So this is what actually clips to your belt or pants or shirt or whatever you want to clip it. Just like that. And then you plug in your in-ear monitors to that right there. And then this wirelessly connects to the transmitter. I'm now understanding what this adapter is for. The stereo nature of this means that we need a left and a right. So if we're rocking 1/4 inch outs, we can put the main adapter right there to go from XLR to 1/4 inch, and then we can go right here and set the other side to 1/4 inch as well, the right side. So that's very straightforward. Nice. Let's go ahead and just turn this on and see. We've got our channel indicator here. There's 6 different channels. I'm guessing we click the button, and then there's 6 different colors. Yeah, so that's how we switch channels. Cool. We've got a green light there for power, and it looks like we do have a clip light there, so if it does, or if we do clip the signal, that'll probably turn red would be my guess. I'm going to go ahead and power that off. We've got a USB Type-C port here. That's how we're going to charge this. The receiver here has a switch to flip on. Okay, we've got a red light there. We've got an indicator for battery, and it looks like an indicator for wireless connectivity, which we're not connected yet. Let's just turn this on and see if they pair. Oh yeah, right away. Cool. That's nice and simple. I'm guessing this is going to be our level for our in-ears. There is a little screen protector there. That looks nice. This is an actually pretty solidly built piece here. Incredibly well built for the price. I was honestly expecting a little cheaper feeling. Anyway, that's a very basic rundown of the hardware itself here. Let's head out to the barn where we've got some gear set up, and we will give this a test. I'm excited. All right, so here we are out in the barn. If you don't know, this is where my big live stream show, Freebeat Live 2026, is going to take place. I've got the Xvive U45D just sitting on the booth table here. I figured we'd open it up, plug it in, and just straight up give it a test and see how it works. So let's go ahead and take everything out. We've of course got the receiver there. We've got the transmitter, and then we've got the XLR to 1/4 inch plug, which, there we go, I will need. So now we can run 2 1/4 inch lines, and that's gonna give us stereo. And I'm simply going to plug my in-ears into this 1/8 inch jack right here on the receiver, and then this is going to clip to my belt. I'm simply going to clip it to my belt right here. There we go, that's nice and secure. Then as you can see here, I've got the in-ears in. They just go to the pack like that, and I'm completely free to move about. Now, before we go over what we need to do with the transmitter, let me just give you a brief overview of the setup here. So this is just a very rough approximation of what the stage is going to be for the show. This is just for like basic hanging of lights and testing things. But I decided to bring out the main table here alongside a piece of gear to perform with, in this case the SP404 Mark II. You can see on the back of the SP404 Mark II here, we've got 2 cables coming out of the line out, and if we follow these, zoop, they are going into lines 9 and 10 on my Zoom Live Track L12. I also have a microphone here just to help record audio for the video once we start recording off the board. That's just an SM57 there, nothing crazy. So the routing for this is fairly simple. We've got the SPD going in stereo on channels 9 and 10. We've got a microphone going in on channel 1. And then over here at the monitor section is where I'm going to plug in the Xvive U45D transmitter. These are the monitor channels, so these can go to up to 5 different pairs of headphones or floor wedges for, you know, traditional stage monitoring. And the cool thing about the L12 here is that it actually lets me give all of these different headphone jacks custom mixes. So my stage engineer can have his own mix, my wife, who's usually monitoring the chat, can have her own mix, and I can have my own mix up on stage, which is going to go into the U45D's transmitter. So left is going to go right there, and right is going to go right there. So now when I turn on the transmitter of the U45D, as well as the receiver, the body pack down here clipped to my belt, I should be able to wirelessly hear the audio from the SP404 Mark II, as well as a bit of room ambiance from that SM57. I know there's probably a cleaner way to demonstrate this, but I'm just trying to show you all like a real world use case scenario. So let's turn this on. Okay, it's on. I'm gonna slide this switch to the on position. Okay, it's on. I heard a pop in my in-ears. And if we look at those green lights on the receiver there, we know that the one to the left is actually the pair indicator, and it is green, meaning we are paired. So here we are on stage. This pad right here is a kick drum. You're not gonna be able to hear it, but I should. And I do. I can confirm that it is working flawlessly. There is 0 discernible latency, and I'm a drummer. So I do have a bit of an exaggerated sensitivity to latency, but let's put that to the test. I'm gonna set this camera on a tripod overlooking the SP404 Mark II. You're going to hear the audio that I record off the board. However, I am only going to be able to hear the audio coming from that receiver going to this transmitter, which is of course connected to my in-ear monitors. Now in theory, I should be able to play super accurately and everything should line up. But if there's any drops or anything like that, you'll probably know because I'll make mistakes in my finger drumming. You'll be able to tell, I'm fairly certain. All right, I am plugged in. I can hear myself talking through the ambiance of the room mic. You can hear me through the mic clipped to my chest. Man, it really feels like no latency, but I guess let's put it to the test. Let's have a little jam. Here we go. Yeah, this is my first time working with a wireless in-ear monitoring system since, I don't know, well over a decade. And the last time I did it, I was behind drums, where, you know, you're aware that it's pretty much zero latency, but I think finger drumming is even more intimate of an experience than that. I mean, you're right there, and this just feels like so tight. Which, going into this whole process, my biggest fear was that a budget or affordable wireless in-ear monitoring system would introduce latency, you know? And I'm just really not seeing that to be the case here. Everything in my ears up here has been just right on the money. Unless you mess up like that. Or like that. Yeah. Yeah, there's like zero latency here whatsoever. It also always blows my mind to think about what's going on. We are sending a hard signal, right? 2 lines out of the SP404 Mark II into the mixer. Then those are going to the transmitter of the Xvive U45D, and then that transmitter is wirelessly going to my pack here, to the receiver, and then that is coming out stereo into my in-ear monitors, all with no latency. Like, that's crazy, right? So obviously I've only been working with the U45D really since you've seen on this video, but it is not giving me any indication that it is going to falter or fail, at least in this sort of environment. What do I mean by that? Well, it is a wireless system. And as you can see, we've got the receiver right here, and there's the transmitter. So that's the total distance. It's not much at all. I would imagine it's going to be completely solid for the duration of any rehearsals we have out here and the live show itself. I'll let you know once we start adding more electronics into the mix, like lighting. There are going to be more chances for there to be like signal interference and things like that, but I really can't see this dropping out at this short of distance. We will have to definitely do some stress testing in the future, but for the moment, I am very, very impressed with the performance of the Xvive U45D. Again, I was hearing that signal in stereo, and that's all because of this transmitter right here and the fact that Xvive gives you 2 adapters that allow you to switch between either XLR or 1/4 inch. I don't know, it gets a big thumbs up for me just for that, that you have the flexibility and the options and that they give that to you, you know, in the base package. You also do get the carrying case, which is pretty substantial actually. I was surprised at how durable it feels. It's pretty thick and it's not flexing like too much. I'm squeezing pretty hard on the bottom. Bottom especially is not really budging at all. Yeah, pretty cool of them to include that. And again, you gotta love the price. All of this here, a completely rechargeable, internal battery driven, wireless in-ear monitoring system in stereo with both XLR and 1/4 inch options for less than $400 US. I'm impressed. especially if you're in kind of a scenario like I am, where you don't have a ton of budget to throw at something, but you want to have a wireless monitoring experience and system. You know, maybe you've got a little stage setup at home. Maybe you do live stream concerts like I do. Or maybe you're just like a local band. If you're looking to get into wireless in-ear monitoring at an affordable price, I don't see too many reasons not to go with the U45D here from Xvive. And if you wanted to go even more affordable than this, you could go for the standard U45, which does not have stereo, it's just mono. But I want to say that goes for less than $300 US. So also, pretty impressive price point. As I try to do with mostly everything I take a look at here on the channel, especially things that I've been sent for free from companies, I will update you as time goes on if my opinion changes on the U45D, if it falters, if it breaks, or if it continues to impress me. We'll keep checking in on this. I'm sure I will use it from time to time, even outside of the shows. Wireless monitoring, very handy to have. Thanks to Xvive for sending the U45D out for me to not only just try out, but also to have for the show. I'm really excited to play a Freebeat live show with proper wireless in-ear monitoring. And thanks to all of you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you know where that dislike button is. I totally get it. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.